All right, what's up, family? So we're gonna get y'all on this one here. Everyday things that people could relate to. So we're gonna tie this, I believe, just 3 words on this one. Pick number 2, my lord. Can't even count, but 3 words. Unnecessary overspending. Think about it. Now, we've done videos like this before, touching on spending. Well, I believe it was some shopping video I talked about how a lot of people love to shop. Yeah. They love to spend. You know, and sometimes it's actually somewhat of a sickness to some people. Why? Why some people shop? Because they got relieving some type of stress. You know, people may shop because it's some type of anxiety dealing with. People may shop because it's an empowerment thing. People just gotta shop. Buying, like I said, title of the video, unnecessary overspending. People shop for all kind of reasons, and a lot of times they shop and don't even need the things that they buying. They just shopping to be shopping, and then later on find out, man, I've been buying a whole bunch of nonsense. I don't even need this. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Watch this. Everybody out there, think about your neighborhood you live. Do you realize when you driving around and people have their garage doors open, do you realize the average person garage is just stuffed with clutter and clutter and clutter? They don't even park their cars in there. Their garage has become a storage unit. You get what I'm saying? People they just pack so much stuff in there. And here's what's crazy about all the stuff people have in their basements, their attics, and their garages. Because they just buying all this stuff. And then it accumulates. A lot of times they don't even remember they got a lot of that stuff. And mostly, people don't really realize just how much, it's going to sound offensive what I'm getting ready to say, but I'm just being honest. Because it applies to us too. Most people don't realize all the junk that they got. Or just how much junk you got until the day you are moving. See, once you're moving, now you got to put all that stuff in the U-Haul. You got to put it all in the storage. And then your goofy butt go to the store and say, oh, I just need a 12 by 12. And before you know it, you like, man, we done filled this thing. We need a bigger one. We need another.
Yes, like you also say, keeping up with the Joneses.
Just thank you.
Keeping up with the Joneses. It's like, oh, I got to have this. I got to have
exactly.
that. So it's like it becomes almost like an addiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why people don't become successful. And they become... It kind of sounds ugly what I'm saying, but in the end, you become broke.
Ooh,
you become broke, and it's because why? You keeping up with the Joneses.
Now, I like you said that because you was talking on something earlier. You said when you was 16, you said, look at it now. I don't have nothing from when I was 16.
I got nothing to show
well,
for.
Tell
when
that
I was
story.
16, when I was 16 and I first got my real job in a company, which I really did love. When my first check, I couldn't wait to cash it and spend it. But my boss's wife gave me such a great advice, which I thank her. I said, Linda, you know, once you cash this check, you should go to the bank and open up an account. I was like, okay. You said, yeah, it's like that. You don't have to go to nobody and cash it for you. They can, the bank, you have your account, you can cash it for you.
And she was saying all that, you didn't take none of that in account. You was, matter of fact, let's go with a word of the day. I almost forgot. You was oblivious to all of that stuff. You just so happy you got a check. But you was oblivious. Oblivious is just another word for saying unaware. You know, you didn't have no clue. Like, yeah, guess what? Do you realize majority of people, they go to check cashing places to cash their check? And you know what? The more money you make, the more the check cashing place take out of your check.
And that was crazy because you gave me that story. That's how I found out about the cashing
check cashing place.
That they keep a portion of your money. They keep a percentage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The more money you make, the more
you work hard for your money for somebody else to take it.
See, now you said you was 16. I was like about 16. I would say 16. When I got my first job, it was at the post office.
Oh, but babe, let me finish this story. So what happened was, it's like, oh yeah, that's all I have to do. Just put money and open an account in order for, put money and open up an account. So what do? I had like around $260.
But you was proud. It was your $260.
Yes, but check this out. Instead of me putting mostly in the bank, I said, you know what, let me just put 100.
You actually put 100? I ain't put no 100. Then I put $10. She put 100 in the bank. That was good.
Yeah, and the rest that I had with me, I couldn't wait to go shopping.
See, Title of the video: unnecessary overspending. You went shopping for what reason? Did you need anything you got?
No.
You just felt empowered.
Yes.
I gotta spend this money. You know what? I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna get that. You don't need none of this stuff, but you just spend it.
But what's more interesting and kind of pathetic is that I catch a sec and I'm thinking, say, you know what? Now that I have a few dollars, let me just go, because I live with my parents. Let me just give them a few dollars so I can help out. I wasn't even thinking of that. I said, no, I want to go shopping. Like that.
Oblivious to anything else. Yeah. Oh, like that episode on The Proud Family when Penny got her first credit card and she just shopping for no reason, spending everything, not realizing you got to pay that credit card back with interest.
Yeah.
See, so you was oblivious to you spending, but I gotta give it to you. You at least said you put $100,000 in the bank. That's cool.
I mean,
but you was oblivious to all the money you spending. Then when you came home, your father shocked you with saying, "You're gonna start paying a bill around here." You said, "Hey, wait, hold, wait. What do you mean pay a bill?"
Well, you know what? That didn't happen immediately. I think it happened about maybe about a month ago. Then after my father had a conversation with me saying, "Listen, Lily, you have a permanent job, so I suggest you start helping out."
See? You gotta cut back on that shopping.
I think that's why he actually did it as well.
Teach you some responsibility.
Yes, exactly. But it hurted me though. It hurted me because all I wanted to do is take my money and shop. And it was every Friday. I never lost any Friday by saying, let me just go and
buying a whole bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, and now what do I got to show for?
That's what I'm saying.
And when I sit back and I think about it, it's like, damn, I should have been more wise with my money.
But see, that's the average person out there. The average kid out there, like I said, when they get their first job, they feel, when they get that check, they feel a sense of empowerment. Ooh, I earned this money. I'm gonna spend it. Ooh, I'm gonna just buy a whole bunch of nonsense. and it's like, what are you just spending your money recklessly? We all go through it. Some of us learn, others don't. And it's a shame when you see people get much older in life and they still ain't learned the thing. They still spending recklessly and never thinking about tomorrow. Spending everything as if today the last day. And when tomorrow come, aka bill, medical, family emergency, that's what's tomorrow. That's what tomorrow is called. When those things arise, now he's like, oh my God, that's what I'm gonna do. Well, you had all the money to do those things, but you chose to spend them all up like there was no tomorrow. Tomorrow's here now.
Yeah, you know, by you saying that, it just goes to show that sometimes a lot of us, we don't learn in our younger years. We don't even have people to teach us, to guide us, and unfortunately, but when we get older, we start having some type of common sense. And
now we say woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yes, and you know what? Some people, it's almost like it clicks on them, and they realize like, no, I gotta get my act together. Because time flies, time is running out, and I need to really think about my future. But some people, even though if it clicks on them, but they just don't care.
You're right.
And then when they realize that they need all the help they can get, they just keep themselves in the butt and say, damn, I should have done that. I should have prepped myself.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. See, now, you know what else funny about that statement? She said, a lot of us when we was young, that's why I always encourage people, go back and watch old videos like this. Trust me, I don't just say it so you get an extra view on my account. But no, because like she said, I wish somebody had encouraged me, taught me, showed me, explained to me when I was younger. I would have did those things. I would have took that advice and said, oh, wow. So that's why I say, go back and watch old videos like this. Watch this one here as well. And you go, you know what? Maybe I don't got nobody in my family, but I got this guy here explaining to me, yeah, I'm going to do that. Watch this. So she loves to see, I always say, watch this. That's so funny. I never realized that. But anyway, watch this. I'm going to give you one. When I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, I'm going to say I was about like in the 2nd grade. Because like I said, people spend money and shop because sometimes just for no reason, it's an impulse. Like, ooh, I got money in my pocket. I got to spend it. Remember that term our parents used to tell us when we was kids? Boy or girl, that money is burning a hole in your pocket, ain't it? Like, and I remember the first time I heard that was, I was about in the 2nd grade, maybe the 3rd. And now remember, I'm 53. So boom, this is to let you know the era I'm talking about. My aunt had bought me some brand new kangaroos. See, The younger generation wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but the older generation, they know what I'm talking about. The kangaroo sneakers. Remember the kangaroo sneakers? It had the pocket. It had a pocket on the side. Yeah, pockets on the side. So you was like, oh man, my sneakers got pockets on them. My aunt and uncle bought me a brand new pair of kangaroo sneakers. Now this got to do with unnecessary overspending. They bought me some brand new kangaroos. It had the grips on the bottom too, like cleats, but they was rubber. Anyway, when she bought me the kangaroos and I put them on, she said, oh boy, you got some pockets on the side of your sneakers. Let me give you some money, boy. And you know, back then I always asked for a quarter. Everything was, can I have a quarter? Can I have a quarter? But this day, because I had the brand new sneakers, she said, I'm gonna give you more than a quarter today. She said, here go a whole $1. I was like, she gave me $1. Man, I was on top of the world. I was on top of the world. And then she hit me with that statement. She said, now don't let that money burn a hole in your pockets. In this case, don't let that money burn a hole in your sneakers, boy. She said, now go ahead out and have fun. So then I went outside. You know how it was when you were a kid. You got the brand new sneakers. You asking everybody, yo man, you want to race? Want to race? Well, I got my brand new sneakers, man. I'm fast. I got my brand new sneakers, man. You swear the sneakers made you fast. That's how kids think. After racing a bunch of cats, I went right to the store. Bought me my grape now laters, my cherry now laters. I bought my oatmeal cream pies. Those were the real ones back in the days. My crunchy cheese doodles, quarter waters. Y'all remember all this stuff, right?
You're lucky you don't have diabetes.
Exactly. Meanwhile, at the same time, I was one of them kids that had the silver in the back of their teeth. Y'all remember that stuff, right? Remember, I'm 53. Look at the era. I had the silver in the back of my teeth. So when I'm eating the now laters, I'm like, I take the purple now later out of my mouth, or the cherry now later out of my mouth, and it's silver stuff all in the now later. And I'm like, oh man, because I went to the dentist early in the week. You know what I would do? Pluck the silver right out, put it right back in my mouth. But anyway, get to the point. By the end of the day, I get back to the house. My aunt said, she said, now, by the end of the night, she said, all right, now boy, she said, you got any money left over? She said, because I gave you a whole $1. I was like, yeah, I got a lot of money left. I got a lot of lying, right? She said, let me see how much money you got. I think I had like 15 cents, yo. I had like 15 cents. She said, see, boy, she said, now I gave you a whole $1, and you mean to tell me you spent all that up, and you got your brand new sneakers, and you got them dirty, right? So I was like, yeah, but I still got 15 cents. That's a lot of money. She said, well, I told you don't let that money burn a hole in your sneaker. You ain't got no hole in the bottom of your sneaker. I said, nah. Then she gave me a challenge. She said, all right, before you go out and play tomorrow, come see me before you come out and play. So sure enough, the next morning, I was like, yeah, you told me to come see you. You wanted to talk to me about something. I said, yeah. She said, yeah. She said, look, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you another $1. She said, now this was like on a Saturday. She said, now if you could hold on to that $1 until Monday and don't spend all your money, if you can hold on to that $1, I'm gonna give you $2 more on Monday.
But she knows that you wasn't gonna.
I was like,
she knows that she wasn't gonna.
I was like, go give me $2.
She knows that you wasn't gonna have that.
I was like, I could do. She said, you think you could do that? You think you could do it? But see, it's what
That's
you
so
said.
good.
But I'm a young, impressionable, foolish, oblivious kid, right? So I said, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I'm gonna get $2 whole. I'm gonna get $2. Man, that's a lot of money. Man, that's a lot of money way further to the sky. That's how I was talking, right? So now, she said, all right, we'll see. She said, now listen, I'll tell you what. So you got 15 cents, I just gave you $1. She said, I'll tell you what, because I know you're going to go spend some of it. She said, I'll tell you what, long as you don't spend, if you could show me 65 cents at least, if you could show me 65 cents on Monday, I give you extra $2. So that means 50 cents I could spend. So I said, oh, yeah, I could do that. Man, Monday came. Man, I blamed it on, I lost it. I didn't have nothing. She had the money, she was popping it. She was like, here go the other $2 now. Let me see how much money you got. I was like, oh, yeah, I think it fell out of my sneakers. Because what it really was like she said, nah, you know what it was, right? She said, I knew you wasn't gonna have the money. She said, see, that's the problem with a lot of you cats, like the title of the video, unnecessary overspending. She said that money burned a hole in your pocket. Just because you knew you had it, you thought you had to spend it. There's no reason to be. She said, boy, we got plenty of snacks in the house. We got everything you want out that you go buy at the store. We got it at the house. There was no reason for you. You just spent it because you had it.
So I have a question. If you was to work
I ain't get
hard
$2.
for those $2, would you have spent it like that?
I would have spent that up too. I'd have bought jingles, now laters.
Yeah, but you would have been. You would if you worked a little hard, like pushing a cart to somebody.
Oh yeah, like the old video we got where I said, things earned is not respected like those given. Yeah. That old video, that's a great video right there. Like I said, folks, go watch these old videos because it will help those who need that extra help where you're not getting it at home or in your family or friends. Where you go, I got somebody giving some positive advice. Exactly. When things are just given to somebody, they don't respect it the same way as when they got to earn it. Just like a friendship. Friendships have to be earned, not just given. I don't trust you just because we work together, just because we family and I trust you. No, you didn't. You do me dirty. Make a person earn it. They respect you more.
Oh, now that you're saying that, a long time ago at your job, wasn't that guy was cool with you and he asked you for a certain amount of money and you wasn't feeling right? Like, nah,
I value the friendship.
Yeah,
because I know how family and friends when they borrow money, they looking at your lifestyle and they just assume, well, he got it, man, so he ain't sweating it. Nah, man, if I lent it to you, there's some form of respect there. You decide not to pay it back. You broke that bond, and now we're no longer friends. And in family cases, you don't mess with that family no more. And now they actually act like you the one with the problem.
And then a couple of days later, he got fired or he
quit. So imagine that'll be the guy got money off me and never paid me back, and now he gone. How am I getting my money back?
Yeah.
People will try you. People
That's
will
what
try.
came to my mind.
Just like a little kid try to test their parents. People, when they become adults, they don't change. It's like they try to see just how far they could get away with stuff with you. But ultimately, like we talking about, title of the video, unnecessary overspending. Like I said in the other video, remember we learned this when we was kids in elementary school, supply and demand. See, when you keep buying something all the time, now you're wondering that price went up. See, it went up because y'all act like, oh, I gotta get it. Y'all made it in demand. But the less you buy of that thing, the more they're gonna be overstocked. And the more that they're overstocked, the more they gotta bring the price down.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. So, unnecessary overspending. Y'all all know what I'm talking about that garage thing. Most people's garages are packed with a bunch of nonsense that they don't. You could go in most people's garages and take this, take that. They won't even know you took it because there's so much stuff. Their attics, their basements. You be like, man, you got all this stuff. You'll go through some people's stuff and find out they got brand new stuff. Trust me when I'm telling you. You'll go to some people's stuff, you'll be like, they got brand new clothes, brand new tools, brand new things that, people love to order stuff on the internet. They got brand new stuff, not even open yet. You be like, yo, you never even opened this.
It's a thing of that they get out of control. They have no control within themselves. And they have to realize that's the one secret thing. You have to have self-control.
Remember that lady, we went and did a job for her? We did some plumbing work for her. Then she asked me to fix her closet rod. She had 2 long rods and she wanted them bolted to the walls. But she had all these clothes so much that it broke her original ones.
And now that you're that type of person, but you imagine if you would have took something out of
she wouldn't even know.
She wouldn't even know.
She had so much stuff in there. As I told her, I said, in order for me to fix, you gotta move all these clothes and all this stuff. When she moved all the clothes, she still had a whole mess of stuff all in the closet, on the floor, and on the shelf.
Don't forget with labels.
With labels, with the receipts still on them, still in the box. I picked up one box. I said, hey. She had a bubble gum machine, still in the box, brand new. And I said, oh, you got one of the old school bubbles? She said, oh my gosh, I must have bought that about 20 years ago. I didn't even know I still had that. I was like, see?
That's crazy.
Unnecessary overspending. And then she had a box of pots. She had a brand new box of plates. Brand new.
And she also had clothes with labels.
Brand new clothes with labels still in the plastic.
That's the addiction she has, shopping.
Unnecessary overspending. Don't have
no control whatsoever.
Because to a lot of people, it's an empowerment day. I can spend. I made this money. Like you said, when you were 16. you got your money. You feel like, ooh, I gotta spend it. I gotta spend it. Why you gotta spend it? I don't know. I just gotta spend it.
It's my money. I'm gonna go shopping.
That's
as
how
long as I put a
feels.
little something in the bank.
I earned it. I get to spend it.
Yeah.
Spend it. Why? Anybody taught you about investing?
And then I was looking forward for the next Friday.
Broke. See, and now you fall into the category of, like the other video, living check to check.
Yeah.
Now, I said this a while ago. In closing, I want y'all to pay attention to this. Yes, I know y'all will find it hard to believe, but watch this old video. Would you believe most celebrities live check to check?
Yeah.
See, you find it hard to believe because you go, this celebrity make millions of dollars. Yeah, but their lifestyle costs them millions.
Yeah.
So listen to this old video. I'm telling you, it ain't just you. Even celebrities live paycheck to paycheck. That's why you see them in so many different movies. Then you see them on plays. Then you see them in different commercials. You be like, oh, he got a commercial? Oh, he got another commercial? Oh, he got this show? He got that show? Oh, man, he was just in the movie? Yeah, that's work to them. See, you got to go to a 9 to 5, but that job, that commercial, that play, that's work for them.
They got to get back for what they spent. What they lost in spending, they got to get that back. Because they know they got responsibilities.
Their lifestyle is here.
So, yeah.
Your lifestyle is here. But y'all both living paycheck to paycheck. See what I'm saying? So, hey, in closing, what I would tell almost anybody out there,
self-control.
Thank you. You took words right out of my mouth.
Self-control, people. You can do it. It's not hard. It's just, at first, it's if you have that bad habit. I know it's a little hard, but you can break that habit. Anybody could break any kind of bad habit. But have self-control. Because the more older you get, you'll realize, like, damn, nobody's going to do nothing for me.
I was oblivious to a lot of this.
Yeah, nobody's going to do nothing for me. I'm going to do it for myself.
Damn. I need not say nothing else. She hit it right on the nose.